G'day, how yous all going? This is Ian Harris from Australia, and today we're going to do a beginner's painting of a moon setting over some mountains, okay? It's a very easy acrylic painting. I've got the colours listed out later on, and it's for all you beginners out there. So let's get started, eh? We'll get this onto the easel there and get started. Okay, on the palette I've got dioxine purple, I've got white, I've got phthalo blue, and I've got mid yellow. And later on, I've got my own grey tones mixed up, medium, dark and light. I'm going to use a dark grey laterwards in the project. Alright, it's all on the board. I also added some crimson red to the palette. Now I'm just going to spray that lightly, not too much because this is a canvas paper I'm painting this on, so it's not like a material. I'm using retarder again. I'm getting the white on my 2-inch brush just to prime up. I'm only going to concentrate on the top half because this painting is going to be done in the top and bottom half stages. I don't need to waste my time going all the way down the bottom with colours. So this has got retarder in it, allowing me to do my mixing and blending on the palette. Now I'll get some yellow with retarder because I'm blending, so the retarder goes in. If you don't use retarder, your blending will be harder. Okay, so we virtually want our yellow. This is for beginners. This is a very easy painting. Got my brush sideways again. I've got it there. Now I'm working in this one spot. See how it's bringing the white through? Now I'm going to slowly twist my brush as I'm stroking. And it's bleeding it up into the white there, see? Now I will wipe the brush. Just wiped it. Because this yellow just wants to be very faint. Alright, I've washed my brush out. Now this is where the red comes in. Get your retarder. I've just dabbed my retarder on the brush and I'm going to find the little bit of red and dab onto the palette because where I want, this is going to be like the faintest. That's all I want. Now I'll wipe the brush, just because red's a strong pigment, don't forget. So I've wiped my brush and we'll blend this just into a hazy glare. Okay, that's fine. That's all I wanted. Just see what I've done there? Just that's it. Now I've got my phthalo blue and we're going to put our blue sky in. Let's hope it don't go too green. Just from about there, because this side here is going to be a bit darker with the purple. I've done that. Just wipe your brush and bring that down into that whitey lemony yellow. Just softly. See, I'm just doing it softly. There we go. Alright, I have the dioxine purple going up to the top. Get it on there, like so with your brush. Whatever brush you're happy with, it doesn't have to be the same type of brush I'm using here. Okay, that's it. I don't want to go too much lower than that. And we're just going to blend that into the phthalo blue. Alright, blending the purple down into the blue. If you have trouble blending, get some practice paper canvas and practice blending. Practice your clouds, practice what you need. So when you're doing a painting, you know how it's going to work. You know how to do it. You know how to execute it. Now with the fan brush, I'll grab the white, because I'm going to have a hill here and a tree. So I would like some... This is all still wet, mind you, okay? Just putting it on there like you've seen me do in previous videos. And blend that into a mist or so. Very, very lightly. You don't want to push onto the canvas and scratch right into those colours there. You just want to create some glare, some light, some atmospheric colours. It's okay, but I would like it to be a bit more, so to speak. Okay, I'm going to have my moon here, so before I dry it, I want to get the main cloud somewhere here. I know the moon goes in behind the cloud, but I need this just so I can blend it while it's still wet. And then I can add the tail in front of the moon later. Okay, and then I'll just okay, that's dry. I've got my moon cut out that I previously worked out the size and cut out earlier. I'll put that on here. Now, you do your moon full, solid, or evaporating to one side. It's up to you. I'm telling you, just from my point of view, I find a moon more artistically looking when it's evaporating to one side. Now, we're getting our white, titanium white. This has got no retarder in it, nothing, okay? It's just raw, thick, dry paint. All I will do is wet me sponge a bit. I might just give the paint a little bit of a wet just to flow better. And we just start off, practice these moons if you like these sort of moons. Cut out some templates, get some paper or canvases and practice them, and get your sponge and work out. So when you're doing a painting, you're not going to be nervous and wondering if it's going to look all right. So I virtually just, like so, I'm keeping the side that's solid darker. Now if I didn't dry this, I'll be having trouble. That'll be pulling the bottom paint off, turning it into mud. That's fine enough, okay? Because don't forget we've got to put some grey in it. Okay? Now we'll get our grey onto the palette. But the grey, like I said, I've just mixed it up. It's nothing I bought. You just mix up some dark and light and medium tones that you're happy with. Now we'll turn the sponge around and use the other end. And then we're just going to just give it a bit of tone. Sort of feel. That's why you should practice these if you're not too convinced on whether you're doing it right or not. And then I will finish it off, go back to the white. And crisp up the edge. Really, once you've done a couple of these moons, they're grade 5 stuff, you'd be thinking, why didn't I do that earlier? And then blend it to something you're happy with. Out into the middle here somewhere. See, I've got a bit of a dark bit, that's fine. That's a moon. Oh, well, look at that. That'll do for our moon. We'll just peel that off like we normally do. Yeah, get a practice canvas, paint down your sky colour, and then just do a few moons for test runs and see how you go. Now there's our moon. You notice I put the darker colour on the faded side because that's the shadow side. If that was all white, it'd look flat. But because I put it the darker, mainly on this side and no white, it's given that dome sphere dimension from a, if you know what I mean. Okay? Now see that cloud I put on previous? Now I will fix that up with the fan brush again. And we'll bring that in front of the moon because the moon is behind all the sky. Bring it in front again, just like so. This is just a very small cloud because our moon's quite big. One day I'm hoping to see in the sky the moon with my choppy row of clouds in front of it. Okay, that's, see, I'm bringing it down. Careful there. If you ever mess up your moon while mucking around like this, I'm going to put a bit of grey there, you can always detail it with a brush later. Okay, then we will just get something in front of that like I normally do. And that's it, that's the detail of our cloud virtually done. We'll put a tail on him there. And I think I wanted another one, probably just the smallest cloud, something to sort of sit this moon back so it doesn't look so up front. Then just the bottom of it down slightly. Just depends how much detail you want to put into it. I might put a bit of deep spooky mist in front of it up here. You don't have to do this. Like I said, I want this to be for beginners. See, the more you mess with it, the more you can damage it. As they say, less is better. Anyway, there's our moon. And with the stars, you know, because you're beginning, don't worry about trying to flick it. You could make a big mess of your painting you're proud of. The best thing to do is get yourself a detail brush, something that's you're happy with. I've just got this one. Get your white, and because you want to be an artist, paint the stars on there. So just do a couple of, and then go smaller. Okay, just draw yourself a horizon line where you want your first row of mountains to go. I've done mine in pencil there. Okay, and I'm grabbing my filbert brush and I'm getting the dark purple, dioxide purple, and I'm going to just fill in the top line, keeping it sharp. Don't worry about underneath it. And I've made sure I've left that little bit of red setting sun down there glaring. So just keep that top line sharp. But they're not light because it's kind of night time, so we want to see them. Now if you want, you can put brush strokes in them. Watch this. I'll just get the tiniest bit of white, just enough to make it show. so we can maybe a bit more, tiniest bit of white just to highlight it. Now work out, bring that like so, like so, maybe like so. Then we go back to the darker colour. This is just if you want detail in that distant mountain. See what I've done? Get the dark colour and sweep this hill back in front of it. Back in front of it. And this one back in front of that. And you've just given your distant mountain the slightest bit of detail. We're going to grab the white paint and a blending brush. I'm using my fan brush again. And we want to place your misty stuff there. So put a bit on, grab your brush and blend it. We want it to mist on top of that purple. We don't want it blending into the purple. This is what I call layering a painting. We've done the sky, we've put that first row of mountains there, making sure we've left the glare where we wanted it. Excuse me. Alright. And then you'll design the next shape of your layout of mountains. Okay, we've got that row of fog dried. Now the next row is going to be our phthalo blue. We want to keep this reasonably dark. Grabbing your filbert brush again, and then you want to work out another row of mountains in front of that fog. Okay, so we'll just put our row of mountains in, keeping that fog at the top of it. Alright. Keeping the top line again very dark. So now that line's all sharp at the top, which is what we want. Now let's bring all this in. Using our filbert brush. Now this painting is something you want to set yourself up to spend a day to get done for the beginners. I mean, it might not look like a beginner painting from the picture, but when you know how to do it and you've given it a go, it's a beginner's painting. Because this is going to have, now we'll just skip that down into there. Now this one I'm not going to dry. We've got to put some more glare in front of this one now. The best way to do mountains is bring them in, bring them across and in from each other. Now this has got a tad of blue mixed with it, okay? So it's a very powdery blue white, okay? Just the slightest. Now we're going to get it up on there like so. Like I said, do a section at a time. Grabbing a clean brush and blending that into the blue mountain you just done. Okay, once you're happy with that blended area, stop on it and move on. You can look at it and think, wow, I like the way I did that, that's great. And then you keep going over it and then you stuff it. I've been there, done that, guilty of that. A lot of people are. Right, now we've got all this dry, we'll get our filbert brush. Put a bit of water with the paint, I'll spray a bit of water on the paint so we've got some flow. And then we're going to dab in front of this. Because what we want to do is get our fan brush and scrape up some grass. Just as easy as that. Don't overdo it, don't muck with it, and you'll never have a problem. See what we're doing? So we're going to do that all the way along. I'll show you. I'll do a section. If anything, I'm kind of sweeping it. So the paint's not really thick and dry, but it's not runny wet either. Just like so. Getting the fan brush and scraping it up. That's it. Because we're just keeping this simple for beginners. And I use the purple because I just find it, I don't know, I just think it's better than black. Okay. That's all we've done. Now we'll put a tree in there. So we're going to grab our appropriate lining brushes. We'll get it wet. And we'll use Mr. Purple again. I like purple. And maybe start from, because this tree is on this island here, so see where I've got some glare, sun there? Just put a simple tree. Something I suppose that would suit the surroundings if you want to get real worried about what's what in a painting. Twisting your brush as you go. This is another thing you can probably practice, is using a liner brush. Bring it upwards, bring it up, bring it up. Twist, twist and wiggle. Alright, we've got our tree on there. Now we'll just highlight that. I've got myself a little paint pen. The top of it pushes down and loads it with paint. Alright, so my moon's there, that's using that as my light source, so I'll go around with this little pen and I can really fine tune all the highlights on these branches, and it'll virtually be determining what branch is in front of what on the tree, and it'll also bring the tree forward on the ground. So just sort of keeping to all the left tops or the left bottoms of the branches. See the branches here, if you really want to, I've done it with a liner brush, I extend them with white just to give it that, I don't know, more of a artistic look about them. You don't have to, it's just something I do. I've done it in a few. Now I'm just going to sign it with my magic white paintbrush pen. If you're a beginner, I thoroughly recommend you get yourself one of these from your art supply, one of these pens. You can get different colours and different thicknesses. I've got the 1mm. Okay, that's all finished, signed, ready to frame and put on the wall. But that is virtually your finished beginner's moonset painting, depending on how much detail you want to put into it, okay? Hope you had fun painting along with me. All the best from me and Harris. Goodbye, good luck, and good on you.